Okay, this episode is about stuttering. Um, this is a very useful speech hack, but what exactly am I talking about here? Well, I actually used to stutter for many years, from the age of about 7 till 20 or so, and I really, really hated it, and it took me a lot of work and a lot of exercises to finally get rid of my stutter. But like I said, I was able to get rid of my stutter a number of years ago. And when I did, it was absolutely wonderful. I really, really enjoyed just being able to have normal, fluid conversations with people. But when I lost my stutter, I noticed something very strange when I was having conversations with people. And that was when I was having conversations with people fluidly, they would be looking at me and they'd be paying attention to me for maybe 10 seconds or so, and then their eyes would kind of dart off, and you could see in their eyes that they would start thinking about something else, and they weren't really listening to what I was telling them. However, when I was stuttering for all those years, every time I was having a conversation with someone, their eyes were very, very focused on me, and they were focused on me the whole time, and they were really, really concentrating and really listening to me, really paying attention to everything I was saying. And this is basically for two reasons. Reason number one is that all human beings have a primordial instinct to help their fellow human being when they are in need, okay? Whether this be driving down the road and you see someone who crashed their bike and maybe they've broken their leg, you have an instinct to stop your car and call the ambulance, get that person some help. Well, interestingly enough, it's the same with much more minor things, such as when someone is struggling to speak. You are focusing on them because that instinct kind of kicks in, and you feel a need to help them. You're kind of listening to what they're trying to say so you can say the word for them, so you can kind of complete the sentence for them. And of course, unknowingly, when you do this, you are paying much closer attention to what the person is saying, and you are focusing much more on what the person is saying. The second reason that people pay more attention to someone who is stuttering is because the subconscious mind hates a cliffhanger. We don't like it when questions are unanswered, and of course, movies and TV shows and books take advantage of this subconscious feature, and it's no different when someone is stuttering, right? I remember so many times when I was a kid growing up and I was trying to have a conversation with someone, or I was trying to ask a teacher for help on something, and I'd be struggling so much to say the sentence, just to say the words, right? And it was so much struggle. Sometimes I would just say, you know what, never mind, it's fine. And they would look at me with these wide open eyes, and they say, no, please tell me what you were going to say. Please tell me what you were going to say. And that's what it is, They are naturally curious, instantly, right, when you're struggling to say something, right? So you see, these things can be used to your advantage, and it kind of makes stuttering a blessing in disguise. Now, when someone tells me that they stutter, or when I think about years and years and years ago when I used to stutter really bad, I think about it as a gift, because how many times do you have a conversation with someone, especially a large group of people, more than, let's say, 10 people, and you start talking, you're really focused on what you're saying, and you're trying to sound interesting, and you're trying to look animated and keep their attention, but their attention just kind of naturally diverts, after about 10 seconds, and they'll start thinking about something else, or they'll just look at the wall behind you, or they'll pull out their phone. Hate it when that happens, right? And so yeah, you can use this to your advantage. Now, as strange as it sounds, I actually use this as a speech hack. When my stuttering went away, finally, I naturally became very, very interested in speech as a skill, and speech hacks, and how to not manipulate other people, but how to get them to pay more attention to you, how to make them feel certain emotions, how to convince them of something, these are all very, very useful skills to have. You know, it's just like a role-playing game, you know, whether it be Skyrim or some other RPG game, where you have all these different skills. You know, you have magic skills, you know, you have your sword skill, this and that, but you also have your speech skill, you know, and in real life, you can also build your speech skill, right? And so yeah, next time you're having a conversation with someone, or more likely if you're speaking to a large group of people and you want them to focus on you more and you want to divert their attention back to you, do some intentional stuttering, okay? I don't know if I'm the first person to think of this technique or come up with this technique, but I found that it really does work for me. So yeah, what you want to do is, while you're giving your speech in front of a group of people, or you're talking to your kids, or you know, you just want someone to pay attention to you, just kind of stop mid-sentence, and you don't have to stutter, you know, like where you quickly repeat syllables like the typical stutter, but you can just kind of stop and say, you know, kind of like that. And that lull in your sentence, that pause in your sentence is going to fire up all those primordial instincts and everything I was talking about earlier. It's going to hack into the listener's subconscious mind and get them to instantly pay attention to you. Now, all the years that I stuttered, as horrible as they were, and as seemingly cursed as I was, another blessing that it gave me is that when I was struggling so much to speak back then, I really had to think so hard about words to say that I wouldn't struggle on, right? Words that would start with a syllable that I wouldn't stutter on, right? So I tried to avoid S's, you know, some people try to avoid T's, and you're thinking so hard, you know, when you're forming up what you're going to say. And all the years of doing that actually build certain connections in your brain to be very fast thinking when it comes to speaking, right? What I'm trying to say here is that in conversations, you're going to be more crafty, okay? You're going to be able to think really quickly about good things to say, and you know, you're going to have a lot more words at your disposal that you can grab more quickly and use that other people might not be able to. You, of course, take speaking very seriously, because for so many years of your life you weren't able to do it. So now that you are able to do it, you see it as this wonderful tool and as a serious blessing, right? So if you stutter and it's ruining your life, and you have trouble forming relationships with people because of it, you have trouble making friends, you have trouble finding a girlfriend or a boyfriend, right? Then I totally relate with you. I've been there, but I can tell you that it gets better, and it is a blessing in disguise, all right? It is a gift, and people listen to you, the stutterer, much differently than they listen to somebody who doesn't think twice about what they're saying when they speak, you know? And you are more captivating to them than somebody who doesn't stutter, whether you know it or not. So, hope this video helps someone out there. And if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next one.